concerning new court ruling out of Pennsylvania may mean that thousands of ballots, disproportionately from Democrats, will be rejected during the 2024 elections in the crucial swing state. Pennsylvania will not count timely received mail-in ballots that are simply missing a handwritten date or have the incorrect date on the outer return envelope, a federal appeals court ruled. Voting by mail is notoriously complex in Pennsylvania. To start, there are two envelopes, an inner secrecy envelope and an outer return envelope. Ballots must be sent back with both in order to be counted. In addition, voters must handwrite a date on the outer return envelope. The date is supposed to be the date that the ballot is completed, but voters often write their birthday, the day of the election, a different date, or forget to write the date altogether. At issue now are what's referred to as undated or wrongly dated mail-in ballots. These ballots are sent by eligible voters, were cast and received on time, and are otherwise completely valid, but will be rejected for simply missing a handwritten correct date on the outer return envelope. The issue of these ballot rejections has a clear partisan impact on elections in Pennsylvania. In Pennsylvania's 2022 midterm elections, Democratic voters made up more than 2/3 of the 16,000 mail-in ballots that were rejected, since Democrats vote by mail at a higher rate than their Republican counterparts. I wonder why.
Forget the past. What are you going to do to make sure we don't have problems going forward?
If you have mail-in voting, you automatically have fraud.
While some counties offer what's known as cure procedures to notify and allow voters to fix these mistakes on their ballots, not all Pennsylvania counties do. From a lawsuit filed by Trump allies trying to overturn the 2020 election, to a 2021 judicial race in Lehigh County, to the 2022 Republican Senate primaries between Dr. Oz and David McCormick, and many more, the issue of whether to count undated and wrongly dated mail-in ballots in Pennsylvania has been the subject of lawsuits for years, with conflicting answers from both state and federal courts. This current case stems from a lawsuit filed by nonprofit organizations, including the Pennsylvania chapters of the NAACP and the League of Women Voters. The groups argue that this date requirement violates the materiality provision of the Civil Rights Act, which prohibits denying a person's right to vote because of an error or omission that is not material in determining if such an individual is qualified. In November 2023, a federal district court struck down this date requirement, saying that it did violate the materiality provision by creating a roadblock to voting that is unrelated to a voter's eligibility. The court ordered Pennsylvania to tabulate these types of ballots. But the Third Circuit reversed this decision, saying the materiality provision only applies when the state is determining who may vote. In other words, its role stops at the door of the voting place. The provision does not apply to rules, like the date requirement, that govern how a qualified voter must cast his ballot for it to be counted. As a result of this ruling, thousands of ballots in Pennsylvania, disproportionately from Democrats, will be rejected during the 2024 elections in the crucial swing state for trivial reasons unrelated to voters' eligibility. The issue of whether to count undated and wrongly dated ballots could make its way all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court before the general election, with far-reaching implications for the entire country. Thanks for watching Democracy Docket. If you want to stay up to date on the latest voting and election news in the courts, make sure to subscribe to our newsletters. You can click the link on the screen or in the description of this video. I'm Sophie, and I'll see you next time.